Have you ever had a leader and their team leave, or maybe you've had one person leave your team and you are hurt and you are upset? That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video, and what you need to be doing when somebody leaves your team, because it could be the difference of them possibly coming back and the difference of them never coming back and never talking to you ever again. I've seen it happen far too often in this network marketing space, where we look at people on our team as if they're a possession. And let me tell you, they are not your possession, right? Any other industry, when somebody leaves a business and they go to a different company, a lot of times there's like a farewell party and you say your goodbyes, and yes, you're going to miss that person, but there's not this grudge that is held like it is in the network marketing space. And I have seen some pretty ugly things that have happened when people have left to join another company or to join a different path altogether. And while I do understand that it can hurt your business as a leader if somebody leaves, there are some definite things that you want to do to ensure that there is no hard feelings. And then, hey, if they decide to come back, they can come back to you, okay? So the first thing that you need to realize is that somebody is not a possession. You cannot possess somebody. A friendship is a friendship because you've built that like, know, and trust online, however it is, and whether they're on your team or they're not on your team, a true friend is still there. And I can't even tell you how many times I've heard people say, I've been blocked. I've been, shadow banned. Nobody's talking to me anymore on my former team, and they've had other people go and block me as well. And it hurts, right? Because what you think is, you think you've got this like core group of friendship, which is one of the many benefits of network marketing. And if you didn't check out this video right over here, which are some of the other sides of network marketing, some of the amazing things of network marketing, I'm going to link it right over here, because I talk about friendship and I talk about the feeling of community that is established inside of these groups that you have and inside of your teams. And when somebody leaves, that sense of community can be totally squashed if you don't handle it the right way, okay? So the first thing that you need to realize is that no, they are not a possession for you. The second thing you need to do when somebody leaves your team is you need to wish them well, because you ultimately want somebody to be happy. And for whatever reason, they are not happy either with the company, with the products, with you as the leader. We're going to talk about that here in just a second. But ultimately, it is our goal to want what's best for people. And sometimes what's best for people is not necessarily being on our team. And so you want to wish them well. And what I can tell you is we have adopted a culture that if somebody does end up leaving our team, we wish them well. We want them to be successful. We still love all over them and still support them because A, that's what friends do. But B, the second thing is sometimes, people have shiny object syndrome. They think the grass is greener, and it's not always greener. And so, they end up coming back. And if they end up coming back and you welcome them and they left with grace and you supported them throughout the period of time, far too often I see people coming back at my company because of the way that they left and the way that they were treated after they left, right? They weren't ostracized or anything like that. And so when they did decide to come back, it was a very seamless transition and they knew that they were welcomed back, okay? So when you have somebody leave, well, support them, love all over them, because that's what a good human does. That's what friends should be doing. And you never know, things may, change later on down the line, and you want to keep that form of communication open. Now, the third thing that you want to do is do not send hate to them. How many times have I heard of people who have left a company, and then what happens is the sidelines, the uplines, everybody, they start blocking these people, or they start writing nasty comments, or they are just plain ugly. And that is the really sad part of this network marketing space, and one area that absolutely needs to be changed, okay? Do not send hate, or do not ask people to send hate. Do not ask people to block that person if they have left your team. That is living in a scarcity mindset. That is living in a fear that they might start taking people from you or poaching, which again goes back to number one, thinking that people are possession, which they're not, right? And it's not the right thing to do, okay? And then the fourth thing that you need to do is you need to do some self-reflection. As a leader, you need to figure out what are some of the holes, what are some of the reasons that people may or may not be leaving your team, right? What can you do better as a leader? What can the feedback be that you could give the company? What could be, some of the feedback with the products, right? There's many different reasons why people leave. So you don't always want to take it to heart as a leader, but it's something as a leader that you need to have some sort of self-reflection to figure out what you could do differently or what you can tweak and change with inside of your culture of your team to make it so that people don't want to leave and go to a different company. Now, yes, like I said, some things are out of your control. It could be the comp plan. It could be the products aren't working for them. That's totally different. But as a leader, it's really important that we do some self-reflection and figure out what we can do better to try to maintain a sense of loyalty to our team so that people don't want to leave, right? Far too often I hear people, they leave because they're not being celebrated. Well, as a leader, that's something that you can work on. That's something that you can change, right? So it's important to be self-reflective, but not self-hatred and beat yourself up over when somebody does leave or when a group of people leave, but figure out how you can get better as a leader. What type of personal development do you need to be doing to get better as a leader? What type of stuff can you start implementing for your team to get better? And those are really the keys to success when somebody does leave your team, because inevitably it is going to happen. If you have a team, there are people that are, we like to call them company hoppers. They like to go from one company to the next company to the next company. And then there's some people that they start, they stop, they start, they stop, they go and join another company. Or then there's people that have been there for a really long time, but for whatever reason, they're disenfranchised and they end up finding another home to call their home for the time being. And so as you as a leader, it's really important on the way that you handle yourself, the way that you conduct yourself, because that trickles down to the rest of your team and sets an example, right? Far too often I see leaders telling other people to block them, to leave them. And what that does is it ends up hurting their business more, because it creates some sort of like curiosity as to why did that person leave? Where are they going? What are they doing? And it starts to pose more questions. And it's kind of nasty. So people that don't like that nasty, taste of blocking and that mean girl mentality that can happen, they end up aligning with the person that left. And so it hurts you both, in both directions. So the best way that you can handle yourself when somebody does leave your company, or, if somebody does leave your company, is to wish them well, support them, continue to have that friendship, continue to have that open communication, let them know that you are happy for them, that you want them to have success. Be the bigger person and develop some emotional intelligence. And hey, this is Julie Reynolds for another episode of Julie Reynolds TV. We'll see you next week.